Hello, you are listening to Just Films and That. This is the podcast where we celebrate films we think deserve a little bit more love. Whether they're underrated or underseen, we're going to tackle them one film at a time. I'm the host, Josh Allen. I'm joined as ever by my co-host, Jamie Allen. Jamie, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Love is in the air.
Love is in the air. You feeling romantic?
Yeah. Well, as we were saying, like each Halloween that we've known each other, you like to pretend to be another lady that you set up on social media.
I said that.
And you like to trap me, don't you? And then you'll send me off to like a restaurant or a hotel, and I'll think I'm meeting like the love of my life, and then you'll just leave me waiting for a few hours.
Yeah.
You got me good this year, so well done.
That's all right. But I mean, that was for off mic, really.
Well, I mean, I should say I'm married.
Yeah, to the job.
That's what. To podcast.
If you haven't guessed already, it's our Valentine's Day episode. So each year where we pick a film that we think is underrated or underseen, but fits the theme of Valentine's Day. So it's the same as ever, underrated, underseen, but it's Valentine's Day specific, basically. So we're discussing Runaway Bride from 1999. Spoiler warnings if you've not seen it. Before we get stuck into it. But let's have a little bit. Before we get stuck into it, let's have a little bit of Valentine's Day chat. What's a Jamie Allen Valentine's Day look like?
We'll do it if you stop doing that thing with your voice.
What? Which thing?
Like you're on radio. Let's just get to it.
Let's.
Why don't we just? When was the last time you had sex, Jamie?
That was what I was going to ask
you. Sorry, go on, mate.
Any plans for Valentine's Day? It's a day of love. It doesn't matter if you're single. It's a day of love.
Well, for the past 5 years, I've been doing the same thing for Valentine's. I text my exes at on the hour, each hour, which does mean I have to buy 10 burner phones.
Yeah.
I just kind of come up with like creative little poems, stuff that I've been doing, places that I am, places that I'm definitely not.
Yeah. You're still doing the post-its around the room and the bottle of whiskey.
Yeah. In a little bag so no one can see. So I can still live stream.
He's good.
Oh,
he's good when you do
some
that.
Object. Yeah, no, I mean, if I did, and I could have a girlfriend if I wanted to, Josh.
You don't know she goes to another school.
No, Jesus, that's a school. I know it's a reference. But let's not start spreading stuff that my girlfriend is at a school.
She's a teacher, obviously.
Yeah, she's a TA because she lacks ambition, obviously.
Yeah. Jamie doesn't speak for me. TA is a really important job. Anyway, go on, carry on with the scenario.
No, you said, I'd be one of those people who's like, do you know what? We're doing the 13th or the 15th and never go out on the 14th.
No, it's a mugs game.
In the same way that I don't drink Guinness on St. Patrick's Day.
You only drink Carling. You said you only drink Carling on St. Patrick's Day, don't you?
No, I'm driving. Yeah, sure. Because I don't consider it a real beer. What about you? You seem like a guy who's maybe a little bit romantic.
I am. It's just that she doesn't want anything to do with me anymore since the incident. No, we don't really do much Valentine's Day. Our anniversary is the end of January, so we tend to just combine the two, really. We might, I don't know, do a card or flowers or something like that. But no, nothing big. It's just not really our thing.
Or maybe that's why you've been having these problems.
Well, yeah, and again, I've asked you to keep that off mic.
You know, I would recommend, right? Once it gets past Christmas, you buy all the advent calendars for like 50p, and then you just need to run that cardboard through like a bit of the water to scrape up a bit, and then you make it like you made it yourself at school. And it's like, I've got these chocolates for you that I went to a class and made them for you, and then like if it's in the hot water, the chocolate will melt enough that you can't tell it's like a snowman or something. There you go. You save some money and possibly a relationship.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about doing another podcast about like tips around that nature? Just like
how to help with fucking women nowadays.
Okay, before Jamie gets on his high horse and goes back right down into the manosphere. So we're talking about Runaway Bride from 1999 this week because it's our Valentine's Day special. Spoiler warnings if you've not seen it. Before we get stuck into the episode, if you could head on over to whatever you listen to this on and give us a 5-star rating and review, that would be very much appreciated. It helps other people find us and hear all Jamie's thoughts about how women are the enemy. So Jamie, Runaway Bride then, obviously it's a prequel to Runaway Jury, as we said we'd make that joke. So Runaway Bride, you picked this one then. So tell us, what is it about and why did you pick it specifically for Valentine's Day? Is it just because it's appropriate?
Well, I've been trying to get this on the pod for a while, haven't I?
You have.
Because I just remember when this come out and it was like a little warm hug of a movie. I was raised on Pretty Woman, and I always like the term follow up as a film. I like follow up movies where it's like, no, it's not a sequel, but
it's the same people. Let's just do the same thing again. Yeah,
we're getting back together. It's like the gang coming back. So it's got Richard Gere, Julia Roberts, and Julia Roberts she's jilted three men at the altar, she's in like the Midwest America. And Richard Gere is a big New York journalist, isn't he?
He's so New York. He loves the city. He loves coffee he's and a big bars.
City, but his apartment is definitely not a soundstage. No. And when he opens the doors, you can see like a house wobble or something. But he writes like a quite mean story on her about how all women are evil. It's kind of like my blog. And then she gets him fired, and he goes to her town to kind of prove that he was in the right. And then, possibly won't they? Spoilers for Runaway Bride. They will. Yeah. They will in front of her fiance.
Yes, they. Yeah, there's certainly some behaviour in this film, isn't there?
Yeah. I actually, if we get right into it, I will justify her behaviour because they do it quite smart that they let her know. They let us know that she doesn't know when she's flirting with other men. So
yes, yeah, that's true. That's covered. True. Okay, so is it underrated? Is it I don't think this is Underseen. Sure, this was a big. This is a big hit.
It was a hit. It was a big hit, but this is super underrated in my world.
It's underrated. Okay, let's get stuck into it then. So if you haven't seen it, you haven't heard the pod before, we always talk about what we like about it, then what we didn't like, and then we do the critical reception where we'll decide, is it as underrated as Jamie says it is? I can't wait to hear what you've got to say about this. You chose it, mate, so do you want to go first or shall I go first? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll go first and then we'll see if you can argue with any more points.
What do you like about Runaway Bride?
Do you know what? As soon as you see what town Julia Roberts is in, I actually wrote on my notes because they'd been a while. Why is Joan Cusack not in this film? And I was like, oh no, she is. This is the most Joan Cusack.
The town might as well be called Small Towningville or something like that. Like, it's such a small little, and it's a real place, I think. I think it's called Berlin. I think it's a real town called Berlin.
I read in the trivia, because I always like to check up on my notes, they invested like $1 million into the economy and people still go to that town.
The Runaway Bride town.
I can't imagine. If I was going out with someone who were like, oh, should we take a couple of days off and go to the town? They filmed Runaway Bride and I'd be like, we're done here. No, leave. I think, bloke, take my number 8 phone. Thank you. But I do like that it's a follow-up to Pretty Woman, but they haven't just tried to redo Pretty Woman. It's a PG. It's not raunchy. Both those characters they're more mature. They're quite layered. I would say they're layered characters.
They're more flawed than Pretty Woman, aren't they? Pretty Woman, which is weird because this is a lot more dialed down. I think this is a 12, and Pretty Woman's obviously bit more mature, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this might be a PG, or at least it was a
Pretty Woman's
a PG.
Pretty Woman must be 15.
Yeah, I remember being a kid and watching Pretty Woman with my parents and being like, what's she doing?
There's a whole scene where she just talks him through different condoms.
As kids we were like, oh, bubblegum.
Because it's the same director, isn't it? It's Pretty Woman, Gary Marshall.
And it's he did the Princess Diaries as well, which you notice he has the same people pop up. Like Hector Alonso, I just want more of him in more
He does films. Well to get high billing on this, considering he's got about 10 lines.
Yeah, but I think he's he's definitely the funniest.
Yeah, he's great. I think Joe Cusack is, but I think he is great in it.
Yeah,
it's a great supporting cast. But anyway, sorry, go on. As you were saying, they go to Small Townington.
Yeah, they go to Small Town. I think it's all the kind of their romance is done quite well because she is a bit of an outsider. Like they do well to go, well, this is where they would fall in love, is that everybody in the town has made a joke of her, running away from 3 weddings. But he sees through that, and that's like one of the things that they say towards the end is that whenever she's gone down the aisle, they've not really seen her, they've seen the ideal of her. And it's quite odd with the eggs thing but I like the eggs thing is just a massive metaphor. Like we've all met people in a relationship who have made their partner their personality, and it's annoyed all that, when you have a friend who's like, oh, I'm going to a Paramore concert this weekend, you're like, but you hate Paramore.
That's very
He's
specific,
like, no,
Jamie.
no,
Has
no.
that happened to you? Yeah, the eggs thing. If you've not seen it, there's this whole thing that Richard Gere surmises or thinks that Julie Roberts' character Maggie doesn't she struggles to find out who she wants to be, so she defines herself by her partners. And the way he realizes that is he asks each partner, how does she like her eggs, and she seems to have and they say like me, basically. So there's a whole scene where she tries different sorts of eggs. My conclusion from that was it is okay to like different eggs.
Yeah, I would say if you're going to work out what your favorite eggs are, don't eat 10 portions of eggs in one go, because the last one that you try
might be the best, but you're like, I do not want to ever look at an egg again.
I'm fucking dying of cholesterol.
So, some mornings I'll absolutely smash a dippy egg. Other mornings I'll smash an omelette, like them both. But it's like...
I'm a scrambled guy, actually.
You're a scrambled guy.
We need to know. Yeah. Just easy. And I think I think my eggs is dictated by how sensitive my fire alarm is in my flat as well. And that is an insight into how depressing my life is. Right? There's certain things that I like you get everything that you want out of this, even to the point that Ike getting punched by Bob needs to happen. Like he needs that comeuppance. Bob getting with someone who's into sports needs to happen. Like there were loads of nice little payoffs, and I don't think anything is left open in this.
There's some good messing about with a tried and tested formula. So, for example, in other films, the Bob character would be like almost villainous. He isn't villainous. He's just not the right guy for her. And actually, if anything, Richard Gere is the villain of this film. Like, he's a bit of a misogynistic prick in places. He deserves to get punched. Do you know what I mean? By Bob. But on the other hand, they also do that role reversal really well. Like, they sort of make it that Richard Gere's character is the world weary cynic, and Julia Roberts is the sort of committophobe. And there's probably at least 3 Matthew McConaughey films that are that.
And it also it's like they make sure to show you, like, yes, he's a cynic, but actually in the things that matter, he is normally in the right.
It's a journey of self-discovery. So the whole point is he is a misogynistic cynic. As it goes along, he apologizes to his ex-wife because he's like, was I this, that, and the other? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, I'm sorry. So that's why that's why I thought that interesting dynamic really came into it, because my first note is literally, it's formulaic in the best way. So like I couldn't help be charmed by it. As soon as it started, I was thinking, well, I know what I'm in for here. Like, in a way I was, but in another way, they did some interesting little bits in there, which we just touched on there with Richard Gere's character and things like that. There isn't really a villain. Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's quite mature. It's more mature than Pretty Woman.
Yeah,
I think Pretty Woman. It's designed around Cinderella, isn't it? And
to be honest, I'm not a big Pretty Woman fan. I have watched it, but but this is much better for me.
Wow, oh my God. I always thought it'd be us that would get like emails being like, "We hate you." But I think they the things that I liked, which weirdly I will bring up in my dislike, there are so many different like little keys that they play into this to remind you that this is the Pretty Woman team. Like the casting, it's no coincidence that not only do you get Hector Alexander, but in the bar you get the chap who works in the shop. I can't remember his name, but I wrote it down. The guy who hates the Nutty Professor.
Yeah, Larry. He's Larry something, not David, not King. Larry.
It's Larry. It's
he's the guy who hates. He's the guy who hates it. That's all I always think of him as, the guy who hates the Nutty Professor.
Yes. And you've got not the movie, as in he's in the movie. And you've got even the bellboy from Pretty Woman is in this in a small role. He's filming the wedding. Yeah. And you also get the scene where they go to buy the dress has such clear echoes of the scene where she tries to go shopping that they even play. It's the same. The person who wrote the music is the same person, and they play a few chords of the Pretty Woman score.
Yeah, I mean, it's my one of my. It's actually in my dislikes, which is they certainly do know that this is the team that did Pretty Woman, don't they? Which I think there is probably an element, like you say, of it's like if you look at, like, a few weeks ago we did Run Fat Boy Run. They obviously made that at the right time for people to be like, oh, a Simon Pegg comedy. I know like Nick Frost's not in it, but you're piggybacking on the success of a tried and tested formula, and that's what this is. All the Apatow comedies have the same 15 actors in them from the the 2000s and things like that. So, like you say, it's not a sequel in any way, but it's a follow up. It's almost like if they made a third one, it'd be all set in the Gear Roberts verse.
Yeah, which I'd be all down for.
I mean, have they done any more films, Gear and Roberts?
No. And it's the only sequel that she's done is the Ocean's movies. Yeah. And she, weirdly, I saw in the trivia, which trivia can be made up, obviously, but it was she refused to do a sequel to Pretty Woman, but she was happy to do this, which I was like, you couldn't, like, this. I don't want to see Pretty Wedding. And it's sort of like, oh, how did you two meet? Well, I was doing coke and a prostitute. But also, that's what they haven't tried to recapture the tone. They're reminding you that these are the Pretty Woman people, but the tone is so much more delicate.
It's a lot more mainstream, I think.
Yeah, well, when you look, the audience who would love Pretty Woman, they've aged a little bit. What's it, like 7 years or something?
Yeah, Pretty Woman's like 94, 95, isn't it? Or maybe it's 90. It's an early to mid-90s, isn't it?
Yeah. So you're looking at, if you were, 20 when you fell in love with that, 30, so you're a bit more mature, you're happy to watch this. So weirdly, it doesn't feel like it's desperately putting it down your throat. It's more being like, look, we know that you want this, but I have got it in the dislikes that, is the shadow of Pretty Woman too big for this? Because I know you said you detested Pretty Woman, you hate it absolutely because you don't like sex workers, but for me, it is, like, that's one of my, maybe it's because it's synced up with my childhood, but I really love Pretty Woman. Like, we used to watch that as a family, which it sounds weird, but if you take away the first 20 minutes, it is a very, very fun, romantic movie.
It's a massive success for a reason. It just didn't hit particular notes with me. I don't dislike it. It just was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, no, you are right. This is a little bit more mainstream. It's a little bit more mature. Like, they do a lot of the stuff. Like I say, it's really formulaic, but they do a lot of the stuff quite well. Everything is there in terms of like big city, small town, fish out of water element, self-reflection, perspective swapping, all the warm wash music, all the way the town is, shot, all the way the town's, it's basically, it is Groundhog Day, it is In and Out, it is all those things that we know it to be, sort of thing. So I mean, one thing I always ask you, do you think this is, I think this is much more rom than com. Like, there's some funny bits in it. I thought the Duckbill Platypus bit was good, and some of the stuff around the other weddings and the other New Yorkers that interact with Richard Gere and things, what I thought was quite funny. But did you think, I think it's much more rom than com, would that be fair to say?
I don't know. I think it gets the balance right, actually, because I think the jokes stay throughout. I mean, it's right that it's not like laugh out loud, but he's got like some quite good snidey lines, and they knew it was good enough that they put it in the trailer. I think picked Alexander's joke at the end when she gets on the FedEx truck.
He'll be there for 10:30.
And she goes, "Where's he going?" Where's he going? He goes, "Well, she'll be there by 10:30 tomorrow." I honestly, that's one of my favorite jokes.
It's a great joke, that. I did laugh out loud, like a lot of that.
But I can see what you mean. But you need rom-coms to be like, the ones that fail are the ones that either have so much comedy at the start that it feels really desperate when they do that last 10 minutes of, oh, now we'll do the serious bit, and you're like, no, you haven't earned that. And on the flip side, if it's too mawkish, you don't get enough. But I think they delicately get that tone just right.
Okay, so we'll move on to talking about the dislikes then. So we'll talk about anything that we didn't like about Runaway Bride or that we change about it, and then we'll crack on and see if it is underrated, as Jamie said. What have you got, mate? Because I think we can both tell that this is flawed. It's good, but there's flaws in there. I've got a couple of bits. Do you want to go first or want me to go first?
Do you know what? You go first.
I it's rubbish.
Let's see what you got.
No. I think the main thing for me is I think we needed to know a bit more about why Maggie is the way she is. So there's some hints in there because her dad seems to drink a lot and is a widower and things like that. And there's also an element of where she never really seems to show any, like, he writes on a post-it note, shows no remorse. And that's true, she doesn't. And I think I'd like to know a bit more to make that emotionality feel earned as to why is Maggie like that? Why can't she commit to stuff? I know she goes into it a bit, but I don't think they go into it enough. But maybe that's me wanting more character stuff in there. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I feel like there should have been a lot more townspeople wary here going, like, how long has she been in this relationship with Bob that they're like, let's go for the fourth one on this?
Yeah, and you get the impression they've been together for like, it doesn't make the timescales clear, but it's like, must be less than a year, right?
No, because if that fella is still drinking in New York off the back of
Yeah,
that, and I've got that in my dislikes, that he is way too much. He's way too over the
yeah,
top. And you can't really justify Julia Roberts and this character as well, who's like a strong, funny, beautiful woman. What is she doing getting with these
yeah,
dudes? Like, that guy, well, he's a book specialist.
yeah.
He's too much so, isn't he, the Dickie Bow
You can
guy?
sort of see the rock star guy and well, he doesn't really go into the priest, but you can see them too. But he's like, why are you with him?
Yeah, he's from Dweeb
Yeah.
Town. What else? I've got that there's right. We didn't do emotion bombs before, but I think we need one more emotion bomb at the end. I think we need a dad speech because you've had a shout with the
Yeah.
dad, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought when he comes in and she's in a dress, I thought we were going to get a dad speech, an emotion bomb.
I think you're right, yeah. And I think that's where the thing that I mentioned come into it. Like if Maggie said, if the dad said, this is why I think she is the way she is, but actually she's found the right person now. So then that's your nice little payoff then as to, and now I'm a bit more at peace and she's a bit more, but that sort of thing. But it just never quite gets there.
There are two great emotion bombs in this when he helps the dad lay down in the car because he's drunk, and I really like that bit where he goes, "Oh no, don't worry, this is not going."
Yeah, she says, "Please don't write about this," and
he's
he's like, "Forget about it, I'm stupid."
Yeah, that's a great bit where I was like, "Oh God, I hope one day one of my kids can beg someone to not write about me."
Also, you said to me that you'd have put it in the article.
Yeah, I would have took a picture right there. And I'd give the dad his keys.
Maggie, brackets, alcoholic father.
What else? Dude, the two song montages don't really work.
No, and the songs themselves don't really work.
There's one, It Was You. I just remember, I've written that down. It Was You song montage, Oh Dear 1999.
Yeah, there's a touch of the... This is peak era where a song comes out with the film. And it just doesn't happen. It's just like all the songs are quite... The music, the score is okay, but the songs are just bland.
Yeah, I think the two montages should have been covered by score, really, to help it through. And there's a really weird one where they realise, oh shit, we've had it that these two are getting married in 2 days now, but they've not really done anything romantic about it. And then they go,
we'll do the tyre swing bit.
Tyre swing, yeah. It's reading a book to each other in front of a fire.
What would make Richard Gere think it was a good idea to get married in that scenario?
Yeah.
And I know, we can go into the contrivances all day long. At the end of the day, as much as it's based in realism, it's a fantasy.
I kind of get it in the sense that I'd be like, she builds this up in her head and then she runs off. So if I just say, like, let's just do it.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I think it would have been funny if he had just ran away at the altar. I'd be like, how do you like it?
I wouldn't, at the time, did they build it up about whether she would run away or not, I wonder, in the marketing?
I think they edited the because they show her running onto the FedEx thing, but they've edited it so that it's like, that's the third.
It's not Richard Gere. Yeah.
And, but yeah, I mean, it was, you'd have to be next level stupid to go into this being like, oh, I guess Richard Gere will just go write the story and then leave the town.
Have you got anything else on that? I've got two small ones, but have you got anything else?
It takes me out the movie that if you're the editor of a newspaper, don't be surprised when the content of something is bad. That is on you. Well, they should have had Rita Wilson come back from holiday or something and not be like, this thing that I signed off on, people aren't happy about it. It's like, that's on you.
Because he didn't. And also, like, there was an element in that bit where I did not feel sorry for him. I felt like the film was being like, oh, he's lost his job, and I was like, he made up a story.
No, I think they kind of called him out on it. Like in the bar, there's that woman talking to him, and she's true. Not see that. She calls him like a misogynist, and they say, and Julia Roberts is in the right when she writes. Maybe they could have pushed a bit more that when he first comes to town, he's not just looking for vindication; he's trying to get like this legal threat dropped. If he's got a bit of a an additional reason,
he's basically trying to rebuild his career and reputation, isn't he?
I've
got here, can you stop a woman from leaving her own wedding? because they said a town's amount of people appear to try and stop Maggie from leaving the wedding at the end.
What was the next step?
Yeah, like what were they like?
You got it, didn't it? Just, well, we'll just hold you at
It
the
all
altar.
goes a bit Wicker Man at the end there. And then the last thing from me on the dislikes is those are some of the worst engagement rings I've ever seen. Awful.
Yeah, you can. Well, I think they justify how she got to keep them.
They're terrible.
Because if someone ran away from me at the altar, I would be like, oh yeah, you keep that. It cost me $4 grand. It's all right.
Exactly. Be like, FedEx it back to me whilst you're on the truck.
Yeah. Well, what is it? Is it meant to be 2 months' salary? So I'd be like, cost me 300 quid. You can keep that.
Anything else on you about that, or do you want to move on to critical reception?
No, just apart from there's some basic caricatures dotted around which I thought could be strengthened. The townspeople could be more interesting. We did In and Out a while back, and the townspeople are a lot more vibrant and a lot more memorable in that, I think. And they do quite well to show like the New York, there's the attitude that New York's have to small towns when she says like, oh, we're all raised on a farm, and like she does the anti-interpretation of what those towns are like. But I just would have liked a bit, like, especially the dad. I think that you can really strengthen that relationship, because it does just, the last time they really talk, she shouts at him for taking a pop her so many times. And then you don't really get that resolution.
He's not really in it. Yeah, he's not really in it again, is he? Apart from being part of a town full of people, forcing Julia Roberts to get married.
Your dad's not coming to win these precious guys. Well, yeah. Apart from that, like I really think it's like I think even though you've had your criticism of this, wait till we get to the scores.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to the scores then. So just to remind everyone, Jamie picked this because he thinks it's underrated. I think we don't think this is Underseen. This was a big box office smash, obviously, given the whole Richard Gere, Julia Roberts dynamic. So underrated then. So scores then. So what would I give it?
Can I get what you think this would get? Because me personally, I put this as a 7.5. So
I'd probably say, like, speaking objectively, yeah, it's probably like a 6.5 out of 10, but that's not like, it's decent. Wouldn't be in a rush to watch it again. As I said, it was formulaic in the best way. I can definitely see why there are fans of this film. I give it like a solid 6.5 out of 10, and you'd say 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, maybe I'm too lenient.
But you also, I think for you that extra one, surely there's some nostalgia there from what you've said.
Yeah.
Whereas I'd never seen this before, so watching it now, I think, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, first watch, I guess.
It's not. There's a few little nitpicky bits, but it was good. You know what I mean? It was formulaic in the best way, as I've said. So let's hear the scores then, and work out the average.
All right. Well, just in case people, because I know people get annoyed when you bring it up and then we don't tell them. It was a $70 million budget and it made $309 million.
That's
so yeah, definitely
big hit. Yeah. So
yeah.
And scores wise, again, if you've not listened before, we do the IMDb and then both Rotten Tomatoes scores, the audience and the critics, and then we average it out. So hit me with the scores, mate.
Okay, IMDb 5.6.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, audience score on Rotten Tomatoes 52%. That's harsh.
Yeah, it's harsh. Oh God, what are the critics going to say to this?
Critic score 45%.
Wow, I mean, that's
mean.
harsh. So that averages out at basically 51% or just over 5 out of 10. I mean, particularly that critics. I mean, I don't agree with 5 out of 10 generally. So that's underrated for me. That's underrated.
Yeah, do you know what to those critics I'd say? Rewatch this bit. Rewatch this film and look at the bit where they're talking about the caricatures on top of the cake, and watch Julia Roberts when Ike makes them fight, and then when he's not looking, Julia Roberts makes them do a little kiss. I think that's the most charming moment in a movie, and those critics should be ashamed of themselves.
Well, there we go. Another episode in the bag. It's our Valentine's Day special. Runaway Bride. I keep going to say Runaway Jury. Runaway Bride is underrated. I think if you fancy something for Valentine's Day, get out there and give it a watch. It is formulaic, but I think if we both think it's all right, it's a good bet that you might think it's all right as well. We'll be back next week with another episode. In the meantime, if you'd like to get in touch with us, it's filmsandthatpod@gmail.com. We're on all the social medias. If you just search for Just Films and That on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok or YouTube, you'll find us. We're always putting stuff out there. Give us a follow. And thank you very much for listening. If you're looking for another podcast about films, Jamie's got one. Jamie, tell them a little bit about it.
Yeah, well, a podcast called The Best Movie 2. It tells you what movie to watch in any given situation, such as what movie should you watch if you're trying to think of Valentine's Day inspiration. We've got that coming out pretty soon. We also are doing the 365 in 26 project on Letterboxd, where I'm trying to watch a new film every day because, as you keep texting me, I am single.
It's just automated now, to be honest.
So you can follow The Best Movie 2 on Letterboxd, and we've got a Letterboxd as well, haven't we, Josh?
We do, yes, we do. So we try and log everything that we do, and here I log stuff I watch outside of the podcast as well. Everything you need is in the show notes, the link tree for our stuff and the link tree, all the stuff for Jamie's. Click on everything, give it a follow, and thank you very much for listening. It's goodbye from me. Happy Valentine's Day. Cheerio.
Bye.